There are still lots of mysteries in the Cheops pyramid. So first of all is the Great Gallery. We don't know the precise function of it. Then we have no idea what the purpose of the Queen's Chamber was. And finally the shafts, we have no idea what the purpose of the shaft was, and we have no idea what could be or could not be behind the stone slab. We might get some clues from the shafts, because they are strongly related to the Queen's Chamber. And if we investigate this properly, we might find out the purpose of the Queen's Chamber as well. The main fantasy theories about what's behind that stone slab is they expect a room, a chamber with some knowledge of Atlantis, some ancient wisdom. But if you want to find out, or if you want to stop the speculations, you have to find out what is behind that slab, otherwise people will speculate it. Here we have a model of the stone slab, and we actually have the same size, so it's 8 inches by 8 inches. What we don't know exactly is the width of the slab, but probably it's not very much wider, because the ancient Egyptians drilled 2 holes through the slab. And then they inserted a copper clamp from the other side, and they bend the ends down to fix something that is at the other side. So what we see actually is most likely just the back side of the slab, and the main side with something fixed here we don't see at the moment. So this needs to be investigated, and you can investigate it by sending a current here inside and measure if it comes out at the other side. So we know it's a closed circuit, and we know exactly that the main part is on the other side of the slab. So that would be very easy to find it out. In 1992 we had to work on the upper shafts, and they end up in the King's Chamber. And the King's Chamber is a place where all these hordes of mystics go and they pray. But we had to work there, and there was always a conflict between the prayers and the workmen, because they felt disturbed and we couldn't do our work. That was the problem I was mentioning in the website. So one thing very funny happened to me. I was attacked by a mystic because I had broken the energy of the pyramid. Because before we installed our ventilation units, there was such a lack of oxygen that people really became tipsy inside there. But then after this, there was enough oxygen, and people didn't feel the same spirit anymore. So they really attacked me for this. The clues that are exposed to destruction now are, for example, the satellite pyramids, the Queen's Pyramid of Cheops. They have cleaned them up, and now we see the saw marks that has been regarded as normal marks, but you clearly see that they are saw marks. And I've seen them 4 years ago for the first time, and they're practically now nearly disappeared. That means you have the erosion factors, you have people walking over these features. Okay, they have been catalogued and put down to drawings, but you don't see the real details. If you just say they are marking lines, in 20 years they don't exist anymore, and everybody will say they are marking lines, but they are saw marks, and it's quite a difference. The pi and phi in the pyramid, always people come up with this, but for my opinion the question is a different one. It is the ancient Egyptians had relatively simple knowledge, and we know this from other areas in Egyptology. So they had no advanced mathematics. But what we can find out at the Great Pyramid is the fingerprint of the architect, because every constructional system leaves constructional traces. And you can trace down the architect, you can find out in what kind of measures he worked, what was his means to determine angles, for example. And then you find out it's a very simple knowledge involved there, used very cleverly. What this computer analysis told me is that the ancient Egyptians really had a concrete plan to build this pyramid. That means they didn't just build up a shaft for several meters and then just said, okay, we'll build a chamber here or we'll build that here. They had a plan before they started to build the first stone. So they had a clear idea, and that's what you can see in the computer. You see how they managed all their problems there. This is the only image we have from the pharaoh Cheops, who was buried inside the Great Pyramid. A little statue made out of ivory, probably 4 inches high. This was found in Abydos, in the tombs of Abydos, and it's the only image we have from this pharaoh. Yeah, what prevents the door from being opened are many reasons, but no scientific reasons. That is something that is for sure, because we have a question mark there, and science should go on. But there are other reasons, and I don't want to talk about what kind of reasons these are. I think that we will maybe know about it in the next generation. If you see the last 7 years, nothing moved on there, and there's no interest to do further research on it. So I don't see that this will change so quickly. So I have a very negative view to the future there. Ask me this question, and I can answer you this question. I think there is a treasure. I think there is a big treasure, and it is the treasure of knowledge and understanding, which has sunk in the sea of gases and vanity.